Hello and welcome everyone to the Shapeshifting Detective. I'm very excited to play this game. It has been on my list for quite some time, especially after I finished the Infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, a game which is fantastic. I really enjoyed that one, and this game is from the same developer team with some of the same actors as far as I know as well, so very excited for that. Dr. Dekker was very well acted, a lot of fun, really good story, different kinds of endings depending on your playthrough, and that made me very interested for the Shape-Shifting Detective, but I don't know anything else about this game. I have stayed completely blind on it. So no spoilers in the comments either, of course, because I want to go and fumble my way through whatever happens in this game. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the game. Maybe if you have played Dr. Dekker, let me know your thoughts on Dr. Dekker here in the first episodes in the comments below. I'd be very curious to hear what you liked about it, why it stood out for you, if you played the Shape-Shifting Detective yourself, and your bets whether or not I will be able to finish the game. Because if it works similarly to Dr. Dekker, there were options where we could die or get murdered. So maybe that will happen here too. Maybe it is a case and depends whether or not we are able to solve it and come to the right conclusion. I don't know, but I'm very, very excited, as you may be able to tell. Before we start, just a couple of notes. If you want to support the channel, it always helps out if you like and subscribe, of course. I know it's always a little bit awkward to weave those into the episodes, but it does help out a lot to fight the evil YouTube algorithms, and that provides me the support I need and will bring you more content in the future. So that might be a pretty nice deal, and if you want to go above and beyond with your support, you can check out the Patreon link down below. With that out of the way now, I'm very excited to jump into the game, the Shape-Shifting Detective. Let's do it.
You're listening to Radio August, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief Dupont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
That is already interesting to me because I know their latest game is called Poe and Monroe. So
you need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Sorry. Okay, so here we are. That is Sam, apparently. And question. I do have pen and paper at the ready to make notes. I think that is always important in these types of games. And I will try to not talk over the dialogue too much, try to take a step back and be able to let you listen to the characters and also really immerse myself into the game.
Exactly. Rewind.
What? Did I already lose the game?
You're listening to Radio August, Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
Okay, so maybe the little trash can here to say, like, I'm not talking?
You know why you're here, don't you?
I don't know.
The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time?
This time? What does that mean? Oh. I'll hold off on that.
Splendid. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else.
Okay, he's gonna think you're
This
someone
person.
else.
This is who you are now. Understood?
Let me write that down. So DuPont is the chief. Just to get a quick overview here. I'm not answering him. He didn't want us to talk.
Understood?
Oh, fine, yes.
Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpets are priceless. Now, how long are you staying for?
Okay, so couple of things. So we are supposed to hold our powers at bay, or like keep them hidden at the very least. And I assume we're talking about shape-shifting powers, since the game is called the Shapeshifting Detective. And maybe this guy was kind of like secret government agent who sent us to this case. Maybe he's someone else. I don't know. And I recognize that lady. She was in Dr. Dekker as well. Did a fantastic job in that. So she welcomes us. I'm honestly not sure.
That's fine. It's yours for as long as you want it. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in.
That sometimes happens. Can you tell me about any visitors?
It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet.
Tarot readers. I'll write that down. But meanwhile, what can you tell me about the murder?
Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you?
No. What chief are you talking about?
Chief DuPont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing.
Okay, so she's part of the tarot readers. What is... Okay, I guess our shape is Sam now? I'm a little bit confused about the start here. I'm just looking for my room.
Yeah, it's a big place. Hi, I'm Bronwyn.
Bronwyn, okay. Pleased to meet you. I'm Sam, I think.
Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading.
Sure. Why not? Let's engage in that.
So, what's your question, Sam?
Will I win?
The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? Enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam?
I don't know, sure. I'm already very torn. I feel like behind every answer I might give is certain death. So, but let's try to play it casual. Let's not raise too much attention and be like, oh yeah, it's the last one on the left.
Good. We're neighbors. Just knock if you need me.
Sure. If
It
I'm
was a
in dire
horrifying
need.
loss of fidelity. The disguise was decomposed. Not decomposing flesh, but decomposing reality. A twisted amalgam of fears and haunting memories. A corporeal phantasm of nightmares, fraying at the edges. The bag lady. Without the capacity to understand human perception, the entity was blind to the weakness of its present disguise.
Let's go to
But
our
it had
room.
other uses for me. Spidery fingers wrenched open my jaw.
It's a pretty nice room. Shifting locked. So we can't shift right now, I guess.
Inside my brain, the bag lady drifted back to the center of the room and floated there. I was free to go, along with the worm, to observe for the bag lady, to
This
do
is
its
bizarre.
bidding. It would eat me if I refused, perhaps starting with my brain, though it hadn't yet decided, and was curious about starting with feet.
What happens if I turn it off?
And relayed my thoughts through the worm. A new life with the bag lady's worm inside my brain. Small talk with the servers at the restaurant.
Okay.
Not this
Hello,
one.
cat.
The worm had to be told incessantly.
We have creepy radios here.
Not these ones. The worm had to be told as people strolled past on the sidewalk. Not this one. The worm had to be told when talking with coworkers in asset management. I looked into the eyes of the people I spoke with, and they looked into mine. And the worm looked at us both, increasingly impatient.
I want to
And
know
maybe
what
the
this
people
worm
sensed it.
business is.
Said something was wrong, just behind my eyes. But they didn't comprehend the true horror. The bag
Let's
lady was
visit
getting
the
hungry.
sheep.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector DuPont. I wasn't
Okay.
sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs?
Sam.
Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam. That's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw. 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled.
Dorota Shaw.
I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers.
Oh. Okay, so that's interesting. Dorota Shaw is the victim. And he suspects the tarot readers. Well, can you tell me more about Dorota?
Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered?
Oh, so, okay. So sometimes in games when you have, like, person question mark, you ask about more intel, but in this sense we were really just like, Dorota Shaw? Huh? Okay, got it. Why the tarot readers?
Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up.
So Bronwyn predicted the murder. Crazy?
It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously.
Okay, so if you suspect her, why is she in jail?
Because things. I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it?
I mean, nope. Nope. I'm out of here. It was nice meeting you. No, okay, I'll try. I'm Sam, by the way.
Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them.
Okay.
You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you.
Sounds like a good deal. Where's my badge and gun? I mean, I'm kind of tempted to play the fool, but I think I'll do that, even if it's not on purpose. So how can you help me out?
Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork.
Problem?
Your old town? The problem?
Oh.
Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Blow it.
Okay. Oh. I can delete some? That's interesting. Do you have an alibi for last night? That is interesting. Maybe a little bit too forward to ask that directly in the beginning, but first let's ask some basic questions. Tell me about Dorota.
What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself.
I mean, I believe it, Mr. DuPont. When was she killed?
Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner. We got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m.
Okay. Where was Dorota killed?
In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth.
Gold?
I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this.
Gold
That's the one thing only the killer would know.
Okay, that is interesting. I mean, that sounds ritualistic in a way, maybe? Maybe some kind of message? What can you tell me about Violet?
Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you?
Nothing?
She told you she's taking pills, didn't she?
Taking
Let me
pills?
handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone.
Okay. Let's write that down. Violet. Violet is takes care of the guest house and takes pills. It's interesting though, because Mr. DuPont here seems a little bit of a gossip. That wasn't easy. That wasn't hard to find out. So, what do we know? Bring me up to date here, Doopy.
Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating?
Okay. I'm tempted to ask him for his alibi. Tempted. Not sure if I should. It might upset him early on, and maybe we can't ask it later. So I'll hold off on that for now, but obviously, as always in these types of games and stories, suspect everyone.
Then they sent me back into the world with a letter for my physician and a bottle of tranquilizers. I was very, very lucky I was not connected with the police manhunt after the body was found.
Okay, now we have a bunch of
Maybe
options.
it's true that the devil looks after his own.
Let's visit Violet again.
I assume you've been to see Chief DuPont already.
That's true. Did you know Dorota?
Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though.
That's supposed to mean.
Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they?
Depends. Was she nice?
Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest.
Oh. Okay. So, slutty, huh?
Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend.
Where do I find her boyfriend?
Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already.
Okay, so that is a little bit of an information drop. Since I don't know much about Violet yet, it's hard to tell whether or not that is just the way she talks about people, or if there is a personal connection between her and Dorota as to why she would drop the unflattering information about her so freely. Can you tell me more about the other guests?
They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually.
Why do you want them to leave?
Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos.
Hobos?
I'm sorry, it's a derogatory word, isn't it? But strange people seem to gravitate towards this guest house, Sam. I think I'll get the sign changed.
Yeah, I guess we are part of the strange ones too, so that's fair enough. What were you doing last night?
It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere.
Okay. So that is not a great alibi. Let me write that down. So, have you been at Dorota's house?
I've driven by it. Never actually been in it.
Yeah, Chief DuPont said you're taking pills. What for?
I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person.
clozapine. Okay, let's write that down. I'm not sure if I have to write things down. I definitely had to in Dr. Dekker. And there was also a weird drug. I'm not sure if the name is clozapine. It's been a while since I played Dr. Dekker, so my memory isn't too good about it.
I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
I mean...
If I am, then why me? I've tried to be discriminating in my victims. No true innocents have been fed to the beast, though that first time was pretty close.
Okay, so we got a little bit of information from
my path.
Violet.
It's a way to live with the monstrosity of it. It's barbaric, but at least I tell myself the Slayer only takes those that the world is better off without.
I don't know what to make about the radio, but I do want to hear what it has to say.
The entrance to a yard.
Probably significant in some way.
Under dark walls with a shuttered double
Let's go to Bronwyn.
Sam, is it?
Oh,
I'm sensing you're not
room.
here for a reading.
Yeah, that's true. I have questions about the murder.
Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise.
Why should I convince him?
All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the Chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death.
Except you predicted her murder.
We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team.
Okay, so why don't you tell me how you predicted the murder exactly?
We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful.
And yeah, can't you ask who the killer is?
Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know.
That's convenient. Where were you at 9 p.m. last night?
In my room, reading. I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me.
Saved you?
She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her.
Well, yeah. Do you think Violet is trashy?
I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy.
It looks very neat.
Indicating his elbow, blood gushes from his mouth and nose. I turn his head away to avoid the spray and feel his neck break under my hand. The beast drinks in his life force as it spills out, greedily lapping it like a cat at pool of spilt milk. A great warm surge of energy courses through me, just a trickle of the stream the Slayer is drawing.
Let's visit Rain.
You must be a new guest. Or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way.
Sorry, I'm a germaphobe.
I heard you say earlier your name's Sam. You don't look like a Sam.
What's that supposed to be? Okay. What do you know about Dorota?
I didn't know her. Called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician.
Who's the next victim? Do you have any connection to Dorota at all?
No, not at all. You're completely barking up the wrong tree there.
I like that question.
Sam, I don't have a motive for killing Dorota. Full stop. I'd have to be possessed to murder anything. Do you believe in possession, Sam?
That's a weird topic to bring up, but sure, maybe.
Just keep an eye out for anyone acting suspiciously. Although today almost everyone seems to be acting suspiciously.
How did you predict the murder?
We did a reading. A group reading, actually. With a special tarot deck.
What's a group reading?
The three of us get together and read the same cards. Bronwyn says it makes the whole thing stronger or more powerful or something. But I'm pretty sure I'd get the same answers just on my own.
So he doesn't believe in it too much? Well, tell me about that special tarot deck.
Mercury? It's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves. It's a special deck.
Can I see the Mercury tarot?
I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it.
Okay, good to know. You have to ask her. What were you doing last night?
I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work.
What were you praying for then? What didn't work?
My prayer. That the girl would be safe.
Doubted it was over. In 60 years, the Slayer had never been merciful.
It's not surprising, but it is very mysterious.
Beneath the broken street
and I'm very confused. None of that is a shocker.
Two young men.
Let's visit Lexi, who seems to be the
You're listening to Radio August.
Tarot
Dark Knight.
reader.
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on.
Okay, so standard question. Did you know Dorota?
I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
It's okay. How did you know she was going to die?
Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is?
The Happy Squirrel.
You've done your research. The Happy Squirrel was vague and mysterious, but not evil.
That is an actual card. Hey, I thought we were joking. But guess not. Happy Squirrel. So what is the most dangerous tarot card?
The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want, no matter the cost.
So you drew the Five of Swords for Dorota?
Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad.
Yeah, I get the idea. What's she playing with? There is something interesting in Dr. Dekker that it's not just about the questions that you ask, but also the way that people behaved. So it looks maybe like jade, like a jade necklace. Well, how well do you know Bronwyn?
She's like my big sister, so pretty well.
You think she killed her?
No.
I mean, why did she come to August?
The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is.
It sounds incredibly dull. You do whatever the cards tell you?
No. Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do.
Are you like the what's it called, the Scooby-Doo gang, the Mystery Express or whatever? Just with tarot cards? Job.
I didn't say job. I said job.
A job.
Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions.
That was very convincing, but I know you're lying.
No, you don't.
Do. Okay. Young lady, what were you doing last night?
I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails.
Can I see your nails?
No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off.
Mm-hmm.
What a joke you are. In 2 months,
very convincing.
Ken grew thinner than
Very
she's
convincing.
ever been. Thinner
So we have a few
and harder.
questions for all of them.
There are no
I just want
Find
to check
somewhere
if the-
safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Oh, interesting. So we can transition into any of these. Before I do that, I do have a few
But
more
I don't
questions.
recognize anyone in the photos. I'm trying to remember their names, but I can't.
Let's stop by at Violet's. Oh, nothing here.
Forgotten who they are. Oh, Robin. That sounds like...
Can I see the Mercury Tarot?
Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam?
Sure.
It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now.
Not really.
Mercury agrees with you.
But
It's nice that you're being honest with me and with yourself.
Emotions
Okay.
from the
Interesting.
past. Now, the photo albums, they represent
I mean,
your
there's
past,
clearly-
Robin. So forgetting also suggests that you're feeling overwhelmed.
can you please shut up for a minute? There's clearly something supernatural going on. We are able to shapeshift after all. But the question is where the supernatural starts and where it ends. So, is the tarot reading legit and does it work? Does some of it work? Does maybe only the Mercury deck work? Do all of them have powers? Do none of them have powers? Do some of them have powers? Those are obviously some pretty important questions for this. So we'll have to see. But it's definitely interesting.
You're so right, Monroe, and I think just by hearing your words, I think Robin can take heart and can...
Let's speak to Rain again. See if there's anything new. No.
The beginning of finding answers to the sadness.
Okay, I think this is actually a good time to take a break and end the first episode before... I'm not sure if we will shapeshift immediately or if we check out maybe the place of the boyfriend of Dorota. Oscar, I think was his name. Either way, we will continue our investigation. I'm very intrigued. I'm also very confused, but I think that is part of the point the game is trying to make here at this point. But I hope we can uncover some of the mysteries and get behind them a little bit. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below and what your first thoughts are. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, please no spoilers in the comment section. I'm completely blind on it and I want to enjoy it as blind as possible. But especially if you haven't played the game yourself, you can feel free to guess with me and point out some thoughts that you have. And if you have played the game, again, just stick to non-spoilery stuff and talk about things that already happened. Always appreciate it. But this was the first episode of the Shapeshifting Detective without any shapeshifting yet. That will come in the future, though. Thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. If you want to go above and beyond in your support, you can check out the Patreon link down below, and I will be back with more The Shapeshifting Detective tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.